So this is the most powerful being in the universe. Perhaps she shall be a worthy opponent. So, yeah, episode 2 is out now, and I'm going to review it. I already did this with episode 1 if you want to go and watch that, or you could just not, it doesn't really matter. So, let's begin, I guess. Toko and Mukuro making onigiri for Shido and the others was really cute. And Natsumi blushing and saying she shouldn't help was also really cute. I feel really bad for Natsumi, but you already know that probably. It's really nice to see how much Yoshino has changed. It's something you don't really notice since it happens so gradually over time. But she is so much less shy than she was back when she was first introduced. She literally couldn't talk to anyone back then. Yeah, probably because this bastard deal were talking instead. Okay, so what's the deal with Yoshinon? How can it? I think the light novel uses she. I don't know, I'll just go with that. So, was she breaking the fourth wall there? And how come she knows more than Yoshino in, like, multiple situations? I could be overthinking this, but is Yoshinon some kind of god or something? Yeah, okay, that's definitely a theory for another video. Let's move on. They remove quite a few pages of character interactions where the girls actually make the rice balls, which is kind of lame, but that's how things are when making an anime adaptation, unfortunately. Next we have the opening, and oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna save this one for later to, save talking about spoilers and stuff, so sorry if you wanted an analysis on it right now, but you're gonna have to wait. All I will say now is that it's absolutely incredible, and of course it gave me loads of chills. After the opening, we see Kaguya, Yuzuru, Miku, and Nia playing some horny word game or something. It's a pretty funny scene, but the scene afterwards where they talk about how Shido changed their lives is obviously more interesting to me. Kaguya, Yuzuru, and Nia saying they would be dead without Shido was a pretty sad thing to watch, honestly. It kinda made me a little bit depressed. Natsumi refusing to call Miku afterwards was very funny. In the next scene, Maria was still silly as ever. I'm glad they kept as many of her lines as possible, because sassy airship AI will never not be funny. Kotori telling Shido to survive no matter what was very touching. Putting aside Kotori's questionable brother complex, Shido and Kotori actually have a really wholesome relationship. As soon as Kotori mentioned Phantom, I knew the camera was soon to pan to Rene, and oh, there she is. She's not even really being subtle with the fact she's Phantom anymore. I don't know how Shido and Kotori still haven't realized. The characters eating food they didn't like was fun. Seeing Miku's questionable sleeping habits was also fun, although I once again feel very bad for Natsumi. And because of Miku's funny sleeping habits, she's going in the thumbnail. I could have put Yoshinon in the thumbnail, but I don't think that rabbit deserves any more recognition than they already have. The scene with Toka and Shido was extremely emotional. I almost cried, to be honest. Toka saying that Shido would have been better off if they hadn't met made me so sad. But of course, Shido said that even if he had to do it all again with the memories he had now, he would still reach out his hand and save her. But the fact that I'm almost crying at this, and I know what's coming later in the season, man, this season's gonna break me. Oh yeah, Tonomachi jump scare. Yeah, so it was pretty funny how I was almost crying, and then the scene afterwards is just Tonomachi saying good morning in English. Actually, there's a lot of English this season now that I'm thinking about it. Obviously, there was a whole My Honey thing, but later in this episode there's also the line that Kurumi has. I've never actually watched the Data Live dub, but I kind of wonder how they do stuff like this and that. But that's not important because Data Strike officially mentioned. Let's go. During the strategy meeting where they all talk about how to deal with Artemisia, Origami tells everyone the origin of Ashcroft Beta, which is obviously all explained in Data Strike, and you should go and read that right now. It has like multiple translations at this point, and it's really good, and you should read all of it, and it's awesome and cool, and I'm moving on. Obviously, all of this information was important to the situation, but it was nice to go, oh, I've read this manga. I know what she's talking about. Although this scene did probably confuse at least one anime only, who was just like, what the fuck, the realizer comes from her brain? What the hell? Yeah, read Data Strike, by the way. Putting aside all the Data Strike stuff, DEM and Ratosuka are finally at war. Who will win? Well, find out in a few episodes' time, I guess. And I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about. Kind of a light episode. It was mostly just kind of set up for the future episodes. Next episode is going to be very interesting. I can't wait for that. But, what would I rate this episode? Well, Data Strike was mentioned, so obviously 10 out of 10. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit biased. But putting aside all the Data Strike stuff, I really love this episode. I especially love the scene with Shido and Toko, obviously. I'm pretty bad at putting my thoughts into words, so I decided to go a little bit more off script with this video compared to the last one. I don't really know if that worked out more than the previous one, but whatever. I'm gonna try and continue to post these reviews because they hopefully get more people to talk about Data Life stuff and also just put more Data Life stuff out there. And on that note, tune in next week where we review episode 3. This one, like I already said, looks extremely fun and shit's gonna go down, so I can't wait for that, but until then, farewell.